If you've been curious about the ShinHan PWC watercolors, you're not alone. I've been wanting to test them out too. In this video, I'll swatch their main colors, a set, try some simple blends, and create a color mixing chart to see how well they perform. I'll share my final thoughts at the end, so stick around. I'll go over the colors that come in this set. They actually have two basic sets. I found this one to be the most basic. The other one would be like an additional set. So we have permanent red, which is transparent. We have a permanent yellow light, which is transparent, and we have a viridian, which is transparent, and then we have a cobalt blue, which is semi-transparent, and we have a permanent violet, which is transparent, and a burnt sienna, which is transparent. According to their packaging, they're all light fast. Let's put those away, and let's test the colors out. Oh, they are nice and transparent. Actually, let's just bring some water and bring that right out. So we'll grab a little thicker paint. Oh, I love the red. I really like that red. It's so clear and crisp. So burnt sienna is going to be a challenge for me because I love Winsor Newton burnt sienna, and I've yet to find one that even comes close. Oh, that is nice. That might be the closest I've seen. Nothing like putting my foot in my mouth. Okay, well, that is quite nice. All right, let's move on to our blue. I'm just gonna flip it around here. So the paint is very creamy. Now, of course, this is right out of the tube, basically. It hasn't had time to dry. I really won't know how much I like it until I reconstitute it after it's dry, because that's the way I paint. Let's grab some viridian. Now, viridian is similar to phthalo. It doesn't normally have the tinting strength that phthalo does. This seems to have a good strength to the pigment. So the transparency is really nice. Of course, I'm going to get a couple backgrounds. I'm just blobbing the water to it. Now, the red actually has quite a drying shift. It's not even dry yet, and it has really dulled down, but I still like it. Their yellow is nice and bright. Very bright, very close to a primary yellow, and I'm sure that's what they're going with the primary blue, yellow, and red. Let's just set that aside. I just want to see how some of the colors blend together. I have a little piece here with some squares. Wow, get some yellow. Oh, that red really moves. It is very active. I'm just going to grab a little more of that yellow and put it back into that. And it's funny because yellow is usually the color that will push other colors away. Just see what that makes. Just going to grab a little more blue. I just want to see what's the darkest I can get with that. So that's kind of muddy. Ultramarine blue is my favorite because I love to mix it with burnt sienna and make such a nice rich black. Let's try our purple. Let's grab some viridian. Oh, we have a nice indigo blue. Look at that. Let's try our cobalt and our yellow. Let's try our red and our blue and see what type of purple we get. I'm actually quite impressed. Years ago, when I first heard of them, I looked them up and they were dirt cheap. And I mean dirt cheap, and I never actually bought any because I thought, oh, there's no way they can be that cheap and be professional grade. Now that they've caught on and people know about them, now they're not dirt cheap anymore. So I wished I would have bought them back then. You know what? I'm just going to lift through the middle of them and see how they lift. I decided to grab this. I didn't want to ruin those pretty blended colors. I'll be interested to see. I'm going to color chart these, of course, because I color chart everything I get. It's the way of getting to know them. All right, let's start with the viridian because we know phthalo green is so staining. See what we can lift without blotting. And it is lifting a lot of pigment. You can see it coming off of my brush. So that leaves a little bit behind. I just dab.
Give you an idea. So that does stain a little. And I mean, I could probably scrub more, but you wouldn't want to. You don't want to scrub your paper too hard. Let's try the cobalt. Cobalt should lift quite nicely. I got a little too much water on there. Yep, still a little more coming off. Yep, the cobalt lifts very nicely. Burnt sienna in Winsor Newton lifts so well. So does this one. I like colors that I can always lift a little back out of. I tend to be a lifter. And I'm not pressing hard. I don't want to scrub and ruin my paper. I just was so excited when I saw that red. Let me just show you again. I want to just put some next to it to give you an idea of how much it has shifted. That has lightened a lot. Now, it's nice and transparent though. I'm sure I could probably glaze over that a couple more times and get a nice deep red. Let's just join that. I do like this pigment. So I'm going to let that dry to see the difference in the layer over top. Let's go to the yellow. Yellows tend to be quite staining. So yeah, I'm not lifting a lot on the yellow. A little bit. If you dab, you can see there is a little lift, but not as much as the others. Now the purple. And the purple lifts moderately. So far, so good. I really like them. So I am going to color chart these. I actually let these sit and dry so they're solid. I gave them a little spritz of water just to kind of activate them. I like to be able to see how they're going to behave. Let's just see how well they reconstitute. Let's start with our, not a lot of water. Oh my goodness, did you see that? Okay, so they're highly pigmented. Let me just put the permanent yellow in here. Oh, wait, see, I'm already making mistakes. Let's try that again. Let's put the permanent yellow where it should go, which is right in this square, because we're lining up with the two permanent yellows. I made the mistake because I normally always put my yellow first. I'm not quite sure how I got the red first. I must have looked at the colors on the back of the boxes, maybe. Let's try the permanent red and the permanent yellow now. Just gonna, oh my goodness, yeah, they actually re-wet really nice. That's probably too much. Okay, so that is a nice orange. Oh, that was Theo. So yeah, that's a really nice secondary orange. Well, we have the red out. Let's just put the red where it belongs, which is right here. And again, this red dulls down quite a bit, but glazing wise, you could probably bring that right back up. And it's not too cool and it's not too warm, so these would probably be their primary colors. Permanent red, permanent yellow, and cobalt blue. Oh, look, I did it backwards. Okay, it doesn't matter. I was only going to do one half of the color chart, so I'll just do the top half. And when I write it out this way, usually what I'll do is I'll do a lighter tint for the second half, but we're not going to do that today. I just want to see how the colors mix. So we're going to go with permanent yellow and Viridian. So let's take the Viridian and go Viridian. Just trying to add some more water. These really reconstitute nice. Yeah, I'm really liking them. I'm really impressed at how well they do. Now, typically with yellows, you like to use the yellow first and add a tiny bit of dark. Okay, so permanent yellow and our Viridian hue. Oh, try not to bleed into each other, but at least it's yellow. That's actually pretty. And then permanent red with Viridian hue. Let's get rid of this. Now, try to use only a small amount. Oh, wow. Look at how quick. Yeah, you're going to be able to get a nice dark from this. Oh, that's beautiful. A nice, beautiful dulled down purple. Okay, so let's go Viridian, or cobalt blue, sorry. Cobalt blue and cobalt blue. I'm just following, see where they match. And what I'll do is I'll post these pictures in the actual community tab. So in my posts, if you'd like to see the close-ups of the colors once they're dry. Okay, so let's do the yellow first. See, now that creates a nice warm green. So let's go cobalt blue and permanent red. Now the permanent red has a higher tinting strength than the blue. Get some of that on there. So that's a nice warm purpley plum color. We need the Viridian with the cobalt blue. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. These are really, really nice, a nice range of colors. Oh, I got my, again, I'm bleeding, but that's okay. That makes it pretty. And really, even if you add a little more cobalt blue, you can really get like a tealy color. I just want to show it here, right down here. See that? It's like almost like a cerulean blue. That's beautiful. Let's go to our burnt sienna. All right, let's find burnt sienna and burnt sienna. This is a beautiful, clear burnt sienna. I actually love it. In fact, I'd have to say I like it just as much as the Winsor Newton, and that's my favorite. It has a really nice orangey, reddy undertone to it, which is beautiful. Okay, so cobalt blue. Now, I did do some of these mixes, but I'm going to see how, yeah, it's not going to be a jet black, but it is a beautiful gray. Oh, that is beautiful. Okay, so Viridian and burnt sienna. Let's get a little more burnt sienna in there. Just going to put that there. It is so, look at that. That's a nice muted green, very natural looking. I got these paints quite a while ago. I've had a few health problems, so I haven't actually been able to do YouTube. I just recently got back. So I actually did a painting with these, a little Chickadee, a pen and ink Chickadee. So I will link that in the description below if you'd like to go watch that. So now I need burnt sienna and yellow and burnt sienna and red. I go through a lot of Kleenex. Let's get the burnt sienna out. All right, so let's start with the yellow. So there's the warm yellow. Like, it is just beautiful. This is really a nice mix of colors. They've really thought it out when they put this set together. You could use this set and mix just about anything you would ever need. It's easily to get a warm red, add a little of your yellow. So let's try the burnt sienna and the red. Oh, that'll even give you a nice red. So yeah, that's a warmer red right there. Little toned down. Wow, these colors are jewel-like. I absolutely love them. In fact, I almost feel bad wasting them, sopping them up. Now, purple is not a typical color I keep on my palette. I do own dioxazine purple, but I don't really use it. I tend to like to mix my purples. This is a nice purple, though. Okay, sorry about that. My battery died. We were going with the purple and a little bit of the yellow, or yellow with a little bit of the purple. Do a little more. Hi, Charlie. No, baby. No. Sit. You can sit and watch Mama, but you have to be a good boy. Okay, so permanent yellow and permanent violet. See, that makes it muted yellow. Permanent red and the purple. In fact, I'm just going to put some there because it is potent. Oh, that's quite a nice burgundy. All right, let's move on to Viridian and the purple. Grab some of that purple. Okay, so you can get a beautiful blue, like an indigo blue. Okay, and then we have cobalt blue. Charlie's just sitting out of camera range there. He's making the table shake. Okay, so that purple is very powerful. And of course, the cobalt blue doesn't have the same tinting strength. So let's get a little more of the purple in there. There we go, cobalt blue. Oh yes, that's a beautiful warm blue. Like a violet blue almost. And then burnt sienna. Get a little more purple. All right, let's just see if I can get a good black. So typically I would use my burnt sienna and my ultramarine blue to get it. I'm gonna try a little purple. That's like a purpley black. Well, that's actually quite nice. Now let's try some of the red. And that red is powerful. And some of the green. Now these are opposites. There's a greeny black, which is quite nice. I like to mix my own blacks because you don't want your black to be just dull. And there's a warmer black. Oh, almost like a reddy. Just a sec, let's see if we can get a little more green in there. Oh yeah, we're right back to the green black. Now I'm just grabbing a little bit of green, a little bit of red, a little bit of purple, and that's more of a black black. This is a very useful palette. I should actually be able to mix just about anything I need from this palette. So I really like the combination of colors. Now, there is a huge drying shift, but of course, looking at them wet and then dry is completely different. I love the cobalt blue, the granulation. So if you can see where as it dried, some of the cobalt blue has kind of separated out of the red, and it's not as noticeable with the yellow, but the red and the blue is beautiful. And the viridian hue with the red kind of has a nice texture to it too. I have to say though, this is probably my favorite color right here. This permanent violet with the viridian hue. It is beautiful. And the same with the cobalt and the viridian, where we did the lighter one down here. Yeah, very useful colors. So that's the color chart. And like I said, I'll link the little Chickadee with pen and ink that I did with the ShinHan.
Overall, I really like the ShinHan PWC watercolors. The colors are beautiful and they blend it together really well. Most of them are transparent, single pigment paints, which is great for clean mixing. This set surprised me with how versatile it is. With large 15 ml tubes and a solid range of colors, it's a great value and a lovely option for beginners or anyone building their watercolor collection.
Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful, and if you use ShinHan, let me know what you think. You have a good one, and we will see you later.